passed to ensure the enforcement of the Constitution. And when the Voting Rights Act was passed, only one Republican, these Republicans in this house don't even know who they are. Only one Republican voted against the Voting Rights Act, and his name was Strom Thurmond. 111 Republicans voted for the Voting Rights Act. They don't even know their own history. This crowd, they're not Republican or Democrat, they are extremists. My own father, it's personal. Say it's personal. My own father had 2 master's degrees in 1960, and he didn't have the protected right to vote when he came back to the South. This right is sacred, this right is personal, and our fight is not just political, it's personal. For the sisters, all the women, raise your hand. For the women, the right to vote started in Seneca Falls in 1848. And I don't know if you know it, but on July 15th, 1848, this past Friday, Frederick Douglass, the former slave abolitionist, joined Elizabeth Canton and the other women at Seneca Falls and endorsed the Seneca Falls Declaration. Don't let them make you think that black and white folk just started coming together to fight for what's right. And at Seneca Falls, one of the resolutions, the resolves was, this is the duty of women of this country to secure to themselves the sacred right to vote. But after that declaration, it would take 72 years for Congress to ratify the 19th Amendment, guaranteeing all American women the right to vote. And many who started the fight were dead by the time victory came in 1920. Touch your neighbor and say, this right is sacred. And this fight is personal. And young people didn't get the right to vote until nearly 200 years after the founding of this country. Not until after young blood was shed in Vietnam. Only then could people under 21 vote, even though they had died in every war this country had ever fought. It was on July 5th, 1971, that Richard Nixon, of all people, I told you these Republicans don't know who they are. When they try to stop students from voting, they're going against their own history. Richard Nixon signed the 26th Amendment that allowed those 18 years or older to vote. Somebody say the right to vote is sacred. And this fight is personal. And so we're not standing in this sun just for fun. The right to vote has come through many dangers, toils, and snares. And that's why any group of politicians who want to suppress the right to vote in any way, they are engaging in crimes against democracy. And we will fight them anytime, any place, anywhere. Every time, every attempt by Speaker Tillis, Senate Leader Berger, Governor McCory, and their band of merry men and women to suppress the right to vote is a crime against democracy. Every time they lie and spew untrue propaganda to the people of North Carolina about voting and voter fraud, it's a crime against democracy. When Senator Apodaca describes the Voting Rights Act as a headache, he's committing a form of dangerous disrespect against the fundamental principle of American democracy. He sounds like Strom Thurmond or George Wallace or somebody. He needs to get his head fixed and his heart regulated, because he's thinking like he's in the 19th century. When you try to rig the election and deny people a free and unfettered right to vote, it's a crime against democracy. When you fear voters and you attempt to deny the vote for your own political advantage, that's a crime against democracy. When you desecrate the lives and the struggles and the memories of all those who fought for the right to vote, it's a crime against democracy. When you deny health insurance to the sick and unemployment benefits to workers and raise taxes on the poor and working poor, and then you implement voodoo economics and you try to deny public education to low-wealth communities, and after you do all of that, then you want to deny the right to vote. You want to create 21st century Jim Crow, poll taxes through voter IDs, which will hurt the elderly, poor, and minorities. And then you want to pass a voter ID that's worse than Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, and Indiana. And then you want to scale back and eliminate early voting and same-day registration and Sunday voting. And then you want to decrease and suppress participation, and you want to rule by default. And then you want to draw racially motivated redistricting maps that segregate black voters and disallows black and white people and Latinos from coming together to elect candidates of their choice. That's a crime against democracy. And we must fight back. Tell somebody we must fight back. Say it again, we must fight back. Because if we don't have the ballot, money wins.
That's right.
But somebody in this crowd ought to say, we are not for sale.
We are not for sale.
Maybe Tillis is for sale. Maybe McCory is for sale. Maybe Berger is for sale. Maybe they will prostitute themselves to the highest bidder. But we are not for sale. We got to fight back. This is a crime against democracy. And I stop by to tell you that this is no time to be calm, cool, and amenable. This is no time to accept things. We've been through too much. We learned too much. We've seen too many battles. We've waged too many struggles. It's on now. You thought it was on when you touched unemployment. It's really on now. When you mess with the right to vote, you mess with the heart of our democracy. When you mess with the right to vote, you desecrate the graves and the blood of the martyrs. And so we need to let them know, you think you've seen a fight. You ain't seen nothing yet. We'll fight over the right to vote. Yes, we will. Because nobody gave us the right to vote. Our grandmamas cried for it. Our grandfathers died for it. Our parents sacrificed for it. Our soldiers died for it. And our young people bled for it. And if you think we're going to allow any group of politicians to take or suppress the right to vote without a fight, you must be out of your doggone mind. Must be out of your mind. No, we will fight for full, unabridged, unfettered, unhindered, undenied right to vote. And not only will we fight, we gonna win. Because the 14th Amendment still guarantees equal protection under the law. We're gonna win. The 15th Amendment still says you can't deny or abridge the right to vote. We're gonna win. The 24th Amendment says you can't make me pay a poll tax to vote. We're gonna win. Our Constitution says that all elections must be free. We're gonna win. Our state constitution says the only qualification for voters is that they be 18, born or naturalized in these United States. We're gonna win. We've never had to test some of this before in the courts because we've never had a legislature since the 19th century that was foolish enough to go against the Constitution. But since you're crazy, we're going to help you get some sense. We're going to win. Yeah, we're going to test. Tell him to turn this up. We're going to test everything they do in the courts. And we are going to fight because we went through it or because we heard Mickey Michaud and Dr. Turner talk about it. We know what racism looks like. We know what suppression looks like. We know what it smells like. We know how it walks, no matter how it's wrapped up. And so every obstacle that they try to put up, we will overcome. Because this right to vote and to fight for it is not just political, it's personal. Somebody shout, it's personal. The whole world can see through your lies, legislators. The whole world can see through your lies about voter fraud and voter integrity. 20 million votes cast, only one incident of fraud, and you claim you're protecting the integrity of the vote. I said at the church, at least you ought to be like Jesse Helms and be bold and honest. If anything I have a little respect for is a ultra extremist that won't tell you that's who he is. And instead try to play around and try to come up with cute ways to make what that wrong seem right. We know what you're up to. Maybe you're stuck in the 19th century, but we're not. Maybe you're stuck in Jim Crow and in the Old South, but we're not. And we have come to serve notice that we will unleash every political, legal, and moral strategy that we can to create the new South, but we will not go back. The more you try to suppress the right to vote, the more we will register and vote. You can't stop the people, we will win. You can't stop the flow of democracy. You can't take government of the people, by the people, from the people. You can't stop truth. You can't stop justice. You can't stop right. We will rise up its own now. Our best lawyers will fight you. Our best organizers will fight you. Our best preachers will declare the truth. Our best rabbis will tell the story. But we will not go back. We've come too far. We stand on the shoulders of the martyrs. We've been baptized in the blood of those who've gone before us. We won't go back. We walk in the power of the God of justice. We move in the spirit of the Lord of righteousness. This land is our land. North Carolina will be a state where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. All elections will be free. You cannot suppress our right to vote. And you ask yourself, how we gonna win? And you got the temporary votes right now. I'm gonna tell you, Mickey, how we gonna win. Because we're reading a different history book. We may not win every vote, but we're gonna win the battle. Because when I look back at how we got over, Lord help me here, our parents won with less than we have today. With less, they beat slavery. I wish I had a witness here. With less, they beat Jim Crow. With less, they beat lynching. With less, they beat the Ku Klux Klan. With less, Harriet Tubman got 500 slaves out of slavery. She didn't have email. She didn't have Twitter. She didn't have textbook. She didn't have a car. All she had was faith in God. trusting God when she had epilepsy. She had a .38 pistol on her side. She had moss on the north side of the tree and a North Star in the middle of the night. If she could win then, surely we're going to win now. Oh, God, help me here. Thurgood Marshall beat the Supreme Court. They had less than we have. Martin Luther King beat racism. Had less than we have. Nelson Mandela beat apartheid. Had less than we have. So we will beat you. Oh, you might win a vote. You might gloat for a season. But no matter what you do, we're going to win ultimately. Because we're going to use our voices to speak truth to power. We're going to use our feet to march for justice. We're going to use our hands to pull a ballot box. We're going to use our pulpits to sound the alarm. We're going to use our organizations to get the people together. We're going to turn loose our lawyers in the courts. We're going to trust God in everything we do. We're going to pray for you while we fight you. But we're going to win. You may try to stop the people, but it won't work. You may tell lies, but it won't work. Your distortions will be exposed. Your efforts will come to naught. And so turn to your neighbor and say, let us not despair. I used to hear my daddy say before he died, that whenever you're in the struggle for justice, don't ever forget that you've got a cosmic companion. I know some of you struggle with that, and that's okay. We're all brothers and sisters. But some of us have been through enough hell, we got to know there's a God in heaven. We've got to know that when our backs are against the wall, we got some help from another quarter. We got some help from another region. We got some help from a higher source. That's how we keep fighting. Because Moses beat Pharaoh because God showed up. David beat Goliath because God showed up. Jesus beat death because God showed up. What they mean for evil will be turned to good because God has shown up. No weapon formed against us will prosper because God is with us. The Lord is our light and our salvation. Whom shall we fear? We're going to stand in the promises of God. We're going to stand in the promises of the truth. The Lord is with us. I need somebody that knows the word and the worth of prayer. That say the Lord is with us. We've been here before. But God has always shown up and made a way. Somehow, through the storm, we're going to make it. Somehow, through this crazy legislature, we're going to make it. Somehow, through the money, we're going to make it. I heard the word when it said, if God is with you, does not matter if the whole world is against you. One can chase 1,000. Two can put 10,000 to flight. Wish somebody would lift your hands and say, I believe that it ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over till God says it's over. We're going forward. And there's one thing we're not going to do. We are not going back. 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 Bring it down just a little bit. There's a medical emergency. We need one of our doctors over here. We got a doctor center over there. Just raise your hand if there's a medical emergency. The doctor will find. Put the placards down. Is there a medical emergency? Raise where it is. Where is it? Everything's okay. Okay, it's over there. They'll go. Raise your hand. Over there. They're coming to you. They're coming to you. We got it. Bring it up. I won't go back. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up all the way. This song says, I won't go back. I want you to sing it. Then our speakers are coming. won't go back. Say, I won't go back. We won't go back. Look at yourself. Look at the New South. Look at North Carolina. Look at the power we have when we're together. Look at them. Don't let anybody tell you what we can't do. Now everybody, come on. Lift them up. Get ready for another move. Everybody sing it.
It's over there, sir. So folks, just to let you know, if you're feeling faint, if you need some water, we do have a medical station that was set up by North Carolina doctors and nurses right over there. So please, if you aren't feeling good, I want you to walk over there, get some water, get the medical attention that you need.
Y'all see how quick you come out here and you get a baby. Say it, say something to them.
What a cat and one step back.
Say it again.
Where is the cat and one step back?
One more time.
Not one step back. Not one step back.
Say forward together.
Where is the cat and one step back?
One more time, one more time.
One more. Where is the cat and one step back?
Give it up.
All right, folks. So next we have Brian Perlmutter. He is a former student at NC State, and he's going to come talking to you from the Youth Organizing Institute. Give it up.
Back up. Alright, so I need this one on all cloud. I also need to snap it to it back up. Alright, so that's the one you had. So the one thing I was thinking is if we could get closer to that, we have to be right here. So we could have been right by the water. We could have set up the water and then done a throw from the second floor. Yeah, I don't see that. Huh? I don't see that. That's fine. I mean, it wouldn't. Right. This one is. We're going to lose bench at some point. Or not. Should I say no? We could also use that. Yeah, that about the power. That's fine. I can go to the power. I'm just saying. Here. Hey, having a good time, huh? Yeah, you do. Actually, I prefer to have this very, very high angle. Yep, get it ready. You'll be the high shot, I'm the low shot. Yeah. And until they yell at me, I'm going to stand on this. Actually, Kia, I need you.
Morning. Do you not answer your phone call?
Sweet, give me that.
Dylan, we've been calling you.
Sorry. Dylan, pull that computer back. Pull that computer back. Pull it a little closer to me on the bench. Watch power cord.
Do you want to use the computer again? What's our stream doing right now?
He's had a brace on up.
Great.
Can you talk to the comments on the YouTube page?
What are we just saying?
I haven't read them yet. I'm not even looking at them. On the page.
Is that different
To make it hard to vote.
Yeah, shoot.
We'll give you a signal.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, this is Zach and Richard and Randy singing Forward Together.
Should we let Jim Crow make it hard to and push our country back 100 years or more? No, 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 gotta do what we say. Country is moving the other way. We're going forward together, forward together, forward together, and not one step back. We're going forward together, forward together, forward together, and not one step back. Should we let split hold on the backs of the poor and push our country backwards 100 years or more? No, 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 gotta hear what we say. Justice is moving the other way. We're going forward together, forward together, forward together, and not one step back. We're going forward together, forward together, forward together, and not one step back. Should there be a war against women anymore and push our country backwards 100 years or more? No, 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 we gotta do what we say. Justice is moving the other way. We're going forward together, forward together, forward together, and not one step back. We can't go back now. Forward together, forward together, and not one more time. Forward together, forward together, forward together, and not one step. We come to forward together, forward together, yeah, forward together, and not one step.
Oh! That was fantastic. So, where do you guys live?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Caldwell, C-A-L-D-W-E-L, Caldwell, Presbyterian Church.
How about you?
Caldwell Presbyterian
How
Church,
was your
Charlotte,
drive?
North
How was your drive
Carolina.
up here?
My car.
Is it your first one on Monday?
Third.
Third?
Their first, my third.
Have any of you men been arrested?
I haven't, not for protesting. I don't know about that.
Do you plan to get arrested tonight?
No, not today.
Yeah, no.
Were you active in the civil rights movement?
Yes.
Yes.
I was.
What did you guys
Back
do?
in the 60s.
What did you guys do in the civil rights movement?
The same, pretty much the same thing. Protest. We did a couple of marches.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oops. Guess the police don't like music. Sorry.
But
Sorry, we didn't mean to get them in trouble. Okay.
That might have been a live arrest.
Oops. I know, right? So who did you work with the civil rights movement?
I was with the NAACP.
Okay.
Yes.
How about you?
Do what
For
now?
the civil rights movement?
I worked in, as a student at Duke University.
Oh, wow.
In the street movements of the 61 era.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's when it turned me around. The civil rights movement turned me around when I was 20 years old. So,
Wow, how did it turn? What was your story? How did
well,
it turn you
I
around?
walked uptown one day, saw all the black people on one side of the street, all the white people on the other side of the street. White people were throwing rocks and bottles on them, and black people was in. It's time that our time has come. We've been waiting 400 years for this, so something's got to change. And so I changed right there on the spot.
Wow. Was your family supportive?
Not quite. Not quite. They were not quite supportive. But my I have three brothers. I'm one of three sons, and all of us are on the other side of the fence from our parents. And that's what happened. That generation was a big, huge gap. Same thing's happening out in our day and time to some extent between some representatives up to the House here and their families back home. We know are progressive people, but their legislature, their representatives are not on the same ticket.
Wow. Have your families been supportive of you all coming up here?
very much.
yes.
Very much.
Oh, yes.
Very much. Family, church, friends, everybody. In light of everything, I guess we're going for them also.
Yeah.
So when we come to do this, we bring God and family and friends and everybody else.
What kind of resistance did you face when you were doing the civil rights work?
Well, then we actually they didn't catch me. So
Okay.
it was sort of if you catch me, you're fine. Yeah. But back then we were with NAACP also. But yeah, it was a kind of a running game then.
I read that the Wilmington Five were just now parting.
Yes, yes, I've heard that.
So it seems it's still like there's still some struggle. That it's not like I think some people tell the story of the civil rights movement that it ended and everything was great and perfect, but it seems like it's more of an ongoing struggle.
It is. It is. It is. It never. Well, from my point of view, it never stops. Because every time you reach one apex, another one will evolve.
So what do you think young people today should be working on?
Well,
Not taking that step back, but picking up from where it is right now and trying to be a part of that positive way of making it continue to happen.
I think one huge thing is for the women of the next generation to take a huge step. I think Hillary Clinton is exactly right. The women's movement is the most important thing globally to get consciousness of and to move all of those issues.
Well, we want to thank you guys for performing, even
Thank
though
you.
you kind of risked. We
Well,
almost
we all-
jumped the gun with an arrest.
We weren't going to go to jail, but thanks to you, we might be in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a habit of creating accidental arrests.
keep on making a disturbance.
Yeah, have a safe
Thank
drive
y'all
back to
so
Charlotte.
much. Thank y'all so
And
much.
we're We Act Radio. If you want to find this online, we'll clip your song.
Okay,
So
I'll
if you
tell you,
want to have
I'll tell you
it,
what, let me give you a card
Yeah.
to send it to my email.
I will do that.
That's what you was arrested for, right?
I know, right?
That's me.
Awesome. Thank you, Zach.
Gospel songs.
And
God bless.
Randy
Richard?
and Richard.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Your name
Hi,
again?
Melissa.
Okay, thank you,
Melissa,
Elizabeth.
thank you.
Bye.
And your name? Kia? Glad to meet you. And Peter. And good work. Way to go, guys. Doing a good job.
So we're still here in the rotunda. We're here with a grandma and a granddaughter, Linda and Brianna, and they have beautiful NARAL stickers on. Yes. Beautiful. Is that Obama?
Yes.
Some Hope Action Change. Why are you here in the Capitol?
I'm here today because to help support the ones who feel just like I do, because I feel that I'm being cheated now. Rights, policies are being placed upon us that really just don't gel. So in any way that I can have my voice heard, I will be out today, next Monday, and the Monday after.
And Brianna.
Hi. I came here tomorrow morning to vote for the Democrats, the Republicans, and passing college. Yeah.
How old are you?
12.
Oh, it's fantastic. You're not even a teenager yet, and you're already organizing. Is this your first protest?
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
That we're working. They making voting rights harder for us.
So you can vote in 6 years. Do you want to be able to vote?
Yeah.
Do you plan to vote?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to register your friends to vote? That's fantastic. Why did your grandma bring you?
So I can understand what they have to say about voting rights.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
And you're on what again?
We Act Radio. WeActRadio.com.
Okay.
My name is Carolyn Billings, and I'm here from Raleigh, North Carolina, with Jada Baxter.
We're here because we're fired up. Yes.
So, what other than that you're fired up brought you here?
I'm sorry, say that.
Other than the fact that you're fired up, why are you fired up? What brought you here?
I think it's really important for people to demonstrate in these times where social justice needs to be exemplified and where we need to let the legislature know that we are not satisfied with what they are doing, that we believe that it's dangerous and wrong. And I think that the greater the numbers, the more impression I hope it will make.
And of all the things the legislature's trying to do, what would you say is, the worst thing in your mind?
I think today's theme on voter registration is probably the canopy that will make it difficult in the future for all of the individuals in our state to vote. And I think that it's important that in particular is targeted. Of course, there are many, many other things. Certainly as a woman, I'm concerned about women's rights. As a nurse, I'm concerned about Medicare and care for the elderly, and I'm concerned about Medicaid for the poor. But unless we have a sufficient amount of votes to turn this legislature around, we're not going to see the changes that we need. And I think people are entitled to the changes, and that what's happening is drastically wrong.
Well, if you could say one thing to the Republican legislature, what would it be? Other than some very choice words we can't say on air.
No. I would say please sit back, think, actually meditate on what you are doing. Think about the teachings of all the major religions and whether or not what you are doing falls into any kind of moral line. Pray, listen, and make wise decisions.
Cool. Anything else to add? Or if you're at home, we have about 100 people watching online right now.
Not really. I think I said it all.
Thanks for coming out.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Are we still? So next up we have Hattie and Maddie. They came in from Wilmington, and Hattie's birthday is tomorrow. So hopefully everybody out there can tell her happy 11th birthday. And it's fantastic that she wants to celebrate her 11th birthday fighting for justice. So why are you here?
For the voter ID.
What do you think of voter ID?
What do you mean?
What do you think of voter ID?
I think that even if you're a student and you live in North Carolina, you go to New York to go to college, you can't vote in New York. You have to travel all the way back down here. You might not have the expenses to, and you can't vote.
Exactly. And why are you here?
I'm here for the voter ID law and everything that's been introduced for it. I've told you the incompetence clause. Yeah, it's an umbrella term. It never really tells you exactly what incompetence is. Just any mental illness and you cannot vote. Depression is a mental illness. Anxiety is a mental illness. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental illness, so you can't vote. Voter ID, it knocks so many people out of the pool.
Have you been involved in protests before?
No.
So what made you get up and drive all the way from Wilmington to be here?
It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things in the state have been taken way too far by this legislature.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys for coming, and I hope it's an exciting evening.
My name is Chris Sharp Berman.
And where are you from?
Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Oh, and what made you come here?
The actions, the actions of this legislature. They have told the people what we're going to do. And it's not right. It's just not right. And they're not listening to the very people who put them into office. Time and time again, they keep doing this. And it's time for the reasonable people, the middle, to come together and finally say no more. And we're all here saying no more. We're tired of it.
I see you're wearing a NARAL sticker. What do you think of the whole motorcycle bill?
Not really sure about that one yet. I'm gonna withdraw that one. Yeah.
That was kind of silly. It's like, let's tack a bill on.
Yes,
a motorcycle.
to tack a bill onto that. I mean, but this is what they do. Why is this allowed? Because good things get pushed aside and bad things get put in with good things or medium things.
What are your thoughts on the coalition that's been built with people coming together on voting rights, women's rights, economic justice?
I think that's how we will beat the system, because you cannot, I think they have failed to realize that people that have different belief systems can come together and fight for a common cause, and they keep forgetting that. And I am an independent, I am not a Democrat, but more and more they're forcing me to become a Democrat. And I think that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your help. It's a broad-based movement.
It's a broad-based movement, and that's how it's going to win.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, we're here with Jeremy from the North Carolina AFL-CIO. He's their communications director. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Of course. Why does labor care about these issues?
Because our moral NCGA is, taking workers across the state to the tool shed, and they're going after workers' rights. They're going after our right to organize, our right to have collective bargaining, our right to simple things like dues checkoff. And when you raise taxes on hardworking, lower income families, then so that you can cut them on just 23 multimillionaires, you're attacking working people. And we stand in solidarity with everybody at More on Monday.
How is racial justice, women's rights, and workers' rights intertwined?
They're all connected, and they're all pieces of the same puzzle. If you keep the connections, as Reverend Barber would say, if you keep the connections alive, you'll see the change. If you see how the same people who are attacking workers' rights are the ones who are attacking voting rights in North Carolina, who are attacking reproductive rights for women, who are attacking the environment, they're all cut from the same cloth. And that's why AFL-CIO stands with More on Monday. That's why our members are here today. That's why a few weeks ago our state Fed president got arrested, because he said, I will not be obedient in the face of injustice. And that's what the AFL-CIO is all about.
Very cool. What's happening with teachers?
Teachers today just found out through a very strange vehicle, the state budget, that they will no longer be entitled to tenure in North Carolina. So
so Michelle Rhee got
got her way in North Carolina?
It would appear that she got her way because the extremist politicians who run our legislature drink from the same Kool-Aid that Michelle Rhee does. So there's no more teacher tenure in North Carolina.
That means they don't have job security.
They don't have job security. They have to depend on annual contracts that may not be renewed for teachers who decide that they're going to speak up. And
kids need stability in their schools.
they need stability in their schools. They need teachers' assistants to help teachers teach. They need classrooms that aren't packed like cattle packed in, in a barn.
Are they trying to bring TFA in North Carolina to replace teachers with kids for 2 years?
That may be the case. I mean, you really can't put anything past these folks. They got rid of merit pay for teachers in North Carolina. Teachers who go out of their way to get a master's degree to become better teachers, they're no longer going to get the pay differential that they used to get. North Carolina ranks 46th, I think, in teacher pay in the United States. We're slipping behind states like Mississippi. If education is the great equalizer, if voting rights are the great equalizer, the people who control our legislature are attacking the things that put people on a level playing field, and it's no accident.
You guys seem fierce though in your fighting. So it seems like they kind of thought you all would sit back and put up with being beaten up.
Well, I suppose that's that plantation mentality coming through. I mean, the people who are running our legislature have the mentality that they know what's right for the people. They know that they have to look out for them, not let the people look out for themselves. But Moral Monday is proof that North Carolinians don't think that way anymore. This is the new South as much as the legislature would try and return us to the old South.
And will you keep fighting after this Monday?
We'll fight every day. This is just the beginning. And we're going to fight all the way through the 2014 election to the 2016 election.
How can people follow the North Carolina AFL-CIO?
You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/NC State AFL-CIO, on our website, aflcionc.org, on Twitter @NC State AFL-CIO, or just Google us, North Carolina AFL. We are constantly supporting our affiliates in their efforts to organize new members. And what we're really seeing, because of Moral Monday, are people who are paying attention to the fact that unions are here in North Carolina. We are a force to be reckoned with, and we will punch above our weight, and we will do whatever it takes.
Is there a Work in America affiliate in North Carolina?
We have a fantastic Work in America affiliate in North Carolina. Work in America is a key part of our coalition. They've organized tens of thousands of members in North Carolina, so Work in America is doing a bang-up job helping folks who don't have a collective bargaining agreement have a voice in their communities, and we certainly thank them for that.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Maybe some of that kind of leadership
Drivers, we have any drivers out here?
We got so many drivers. Jamie, there you are.
Have you hugged your senior? 2 weeks ago.
Why? Where's your family? They're going to meet you now.
Yeah, they got time.
They bring you to the next like 8 at a time.
Okay. Are you all going to
They say these are the things.
It's not on anyone.
On the following conditions. And you agree to the conditions. The screen time's out.
Okay, I didn't know. I just. Hey, Dave.
Oh, it's actually had a little bit down one.
The reason I ask is all mine are faded. I'm 32 of beer.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for your work.
But I think what they have done we talk about
Anybody else ready to go to the church?
Sweet, it's not 11.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So what happened with
Exactly.
yes, it's incredible safe. I haven't
Wow.
Okay. Hey, we're here with Pastor Timberlake. You just got out of jail. Why were you here today? What happened?
Well, I wanted to stand for the disenfranchised. I wanted to stand against voting laws that are being put in place. I wanted to stand for teachers. I wanted to stand for all people, because some of the things that our legislators are doing simply not right. We're actually going back in time instead of going forward in time. And the beautiful thing about what's happening now is that it's not about black people, it's not about white people, it's not about Latinos, it's about all people. It's about all people coming together, fighting for the cause, fighting for the rights of all people, fighting for our constitutional rights.
Was this your first arrest for civil disobedience?
This was my very first arrest. I've never been arrested before. I'm a pastor. I'm a senior pastor, a 35-year-old pastor of a non-denominational church in Charlotte. So I wanted to stand for not only my church members and show the world that when you stand for something, when you do stand for something, you will never fall for anything, and it does not matter what what your profession is or what you do. But if you believe in something, that you are willing to die for it.
Thank you, sir, or pastor.
Thank you.
Are we getting and what? We got to ride. Yes. And now we're here with Mr. Robert Plummer, a Korean War vet.
I can't let you see my pain. Got to look
So this is.
Can you Adobe shop this to make me look about 20 years younger?
You look amazing. So this is Mr. Robert Plummer.
That's right.
And you're a veteran of what war?
Veteran of the Korean War.
And what did you do in Korea?
I was the first black underwater demolition man, UDT, the Buds. Unit 5, Virginia Beach.
And what do you think of your voting rights being attacked?
I am very despondent on that factor, because that's what I went to war for the protection of the voting rights. And I can't see us going and fighting and saying democracy all over the world when our voting rights are being deteriorated right here in the United States.
Was this your first arrest for civil disobedience?
No, I was arrested at Pettis Bridge. King.
Can you tell us about Pettis?
No, I don't want to go back that far.
Okay.
I'm a young man.
You're a young man. Well, we're honored to be in your presence. I walked across the Pettis Bridge once, and I was chilled being able to be in that spirit. What was it like being arrested today?
Well, the courtesy that the law enforcement agents showed us was above board. But our legislators are completely the opposite. And I'm here to complain about our legislators, not our law enforcement people, because they're working just as I would have been working. So they showed complete courtesy to every need that we had. And I thank them.
And then, are you going to keep fighting?
Most emphatically.
Great. Well, thank you for your service to our country on so many occasions.
God bless you.
Anybody need a ride?
And this gentleman, he's got a ride right there. Anybody else ready to go?
Is there anyone that needs to ride?
Stay right here. I just want to talk to Dale and Dan.
Hi, and now we're here with Reynolds Chuck. Chapman, and you're from the Durham?
Durham, North Carolina.
Great, and why were you here today?
I was here to stand up for the poor, for people who are poor.
And are you affiliated with an organization or a church?
I'm a minister at Duke Memorial United Methodist Church.
And is part of your ministry doing social justice?
Yes. I think that as a Christian that I'm called to advocate for the poor, to be with the poor, and when the poor are saying that
What was it like being arrested?
There was really nothing too unexpected. I think they just kind of shuffled us through and shuffled us on out.
Well, thank you for your service.
All right, thank you.
Where's our button man when we need him? I think everybody's been grabbed up. Thank you. Thank you. But that's why you did what you did.
Hi. What you doing?
We're live streaming right now. Do you want to talk to us for a second?
Yeah. What do you want?
Just stand right there and tell us why you're here and why you got arrested today. And what's your name and
Yeah.
doing stuff.
My name. Yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
My name is Michael Gross. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, and this is Wave 12 of Moral Mondays. And I'm here because I believed it was really my turn to stand up and join my brothers and sisters in protesting the legislation that is being enacted by a fanatical cult of legislators. They are passing legislation which is in fact in opposition to the demonstrated wishes of North Carolina citizens as regards their rights to vote. Most North Carolinians believe that the system as it's been currently applied is agreeable to them and is entirely satisfactory. 73% of North Carolinians, according to Public Policy Polling, that's an organization, believe that it is a good law and they want that law to continue. 75% of North Carolinians, according to Public Policy Polling, have used early voting registration before. There is in fact no really valid, good reason to change the early voting regulations. The only one that really presents itself is that this is a highly political maneuver to undermine the democratic vote, the vote of African Americans and the underprivileged and the needy. On top of this, in order to vote according to this legislature now, one has to present a photo ID, which is issued by the state. Not only is that unconstitutional, but citizens are now going to be charged $10 for a photo ID. That in fact amounts to a poll tax, which is also unconstitutional. If only for these reasons, this legislator is undermining the progressive state that I've come to know and love. And this is intolerable. I feel, let me add, that I feel personally insulted and disrespected by a legislator that thinks that they can enact this kind of legislation and a lot of other, I think, retrograde legislation without my standing up and saying, no, this is completely unacceptable and I will not be quiet, I will not sit back, and I deeply resent that this legislature thinks that it can enact this kind of legislation behind closed doors in the dead of night and without minutes being taken. I'm not going to tolerate it, and I refuse to be intimidated by the Civitas Institute. I will, if you put my, I'm sure you will, you put my mugshot up on your website, I will consider it a badge of honor to have stood alongside my beautiful brothers and sisters.
We have a lot of viewers international in DC. Can you explain the Civitas Foundation?
Yes, I can very quickly, to the best of my knowledge, explain that the Civitas Institute is funded by the Pope Family Foundation, and I believe they fund as much as 94% of this Civitas Institute. This Civitas Institute is actually an organization which has funded Tea Party candidates and Republican candidates in select districts in North Carolina, targeted districts, to ensure that they would be elected into office. That, on top of the fact that districts have been very carefully, very craftily bleached, cracked, and packed in order to make sure that this fanatical cult would win a majority within both houses of the legislature. On every level, this is profoundly undemocratic. It is profoundly immoral. Legislation that also undermines health care for the poor and education for our students is unacceptable. It's cruel. It's selfish. It's un-American.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So what's going on with this? What?
It's going to be live right now on YouTube.
Okay.
It'll be under youtube.com/MeActRadio
Dave, you want to come over?
Could you write that down for
Sure,
me?
we can do that over here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey,
I'm glad you're
so
doing
now
it.
we're here with Slate's Dave Weigel. What have you seen today in North Carolina?
I saw a pretty regimented, pretty well figured out protest, both on the organizing side and on the state's handling of it. I mean, it's pretty rhythmic, actually.
What did you think of the church service?
See, I was in and out of that because there were parts where they told the media to not stick around, not record. And I heard the same speech a few times. And the concept was stick close to the subject of voter ID, and I think it's tough to resist bringing up the manifold other bills that the legislature's passed. But pretty passionate. I'm also impressed. It's not just that the crowd's diverse. It is largely white crowd, which is not how it's been covered outside. I don't think there's been much of that in the coverage at all. You got, I think, NAACP and Reverend Barber as the face of it, but kind of the ground troops are all. A lot of people I met, retirees and college professors and people who just lost unemployment insurance or white working class. A coalition kind of looks like the state, but maybe even a little more white, a little more gray.
Have you seen this kind of multiracial organizing and other actions you've covered?
Not in the South. I mean, I was in Wisconsin during the fight over the labor bill, and that was because school was in session, probably much younger, and I think they were so different because there was no threat of arrest there, really. Because people might get arrested, I think you probably have young people not into the idea of easily searchable, Googleable mugshots when they're looking for jobs. So this does seem to be kind of, a lot of people are just referring to when they were arrested in the 60s. But I mean, I just had a kind of anecdotal sample. I was just interested in how the state, the cops, everyone else, at this point, I think people were starting getting out of here an hour and a half after they're arrested. Get arrested, got processed, got back here, which is about a 10-minute drive, got out, which is incredibly efficient, apparently much more efficient than it was in the beginning. We've gone from letting out at 3 or 4 a.m. to letting them out at 9:15.
How does this compare to the Occupy protests you've covered?
Those two, I think those are, there's some of the joy and the circus element of it, but there was nothing really. Confrontations police were just that. They were confrontations. Here there were people, putting their hands behind their back preemptively when they were, 3 minutes away from getting arrested. But everyone kind of gearing up for a kind of peaceful confrontation, peaceful disobedience. There was kind of an arc from when they got arrested to when they were pulled outside into a bus, and when people cheered the bus to hear when they're being welcomed. And again, the state, I think this I guess the dream, if you are being protested, is for people to stop paying attention. That seems to be the way they're handling it. I mean, the legislature left today instead of being there to get yelled at. That can go either way. I remember in Wisconsin, conservatives were very impressed by footage of these guys getting yelled at and thought it made them look sympathetic. And here today they kind of left and decided to come back tomorrow.
And then do you think this organizing is going to be impactful over the long haul?
Well, the Obama campaign had the state pretty well wired. I think it's the legislation itself either engenders a backlash or it doesn't. And this goes much further than anything that happened in Wisconsin. This is already a right-to-work state, so you don't have the labor movement losing as much. Hitting unemployment insurance, you are hitting a lot of white working-class voters who probably did vote Republican. And if they make that connection at all, you have people who didn't think they were going to get this kind of Republican government getting it. That was always the backlash against Republicans in Wisconsin. Remember, with Republicans, it wasn't for Walker won a recall, but it wasn't for gerrymandering. The state ended up going mostly blue at the statewide level, voting for a Democratic senator, voting for Barack Obama, even though there's a Wisconsin
Did you see OFA here?
I didn't see OFA here. I saw a couple of Democracy North Carolina, ACLU, a couple of local groups.
Any North Carolina Democrats?
No, I didn't see them here. I mean, as I'm saying, I think OFA have got their political side. I think the importance of the politics is whether there's a backlash or not from people who are probably not even here.
In Texas, for the struggle in Texas a couple weeks ago, Texas Democrats are heavily involved. Do you think the North Carolina Dems and OFA are missing out by being absent?
Oh no, I don't think these are probably the kind of people who are one or two on your turnout list who are definitely going to turn out. But I've only been here for a day. I've only seen that. I just think that I think the recent experience with Democrats' protest movements, it's easy for them to turn. I don't think they regret not being that closely identified with Occupy, because in the end, stories of Occupy arrests and disorder and sexual violence, etc. Same thing in Texas. I mean, I think there was, by the end, we never kind of got to the bottom of it, but it's the stories that went viral about the grossness of the protest. If they're a little bit, if they're holding everything at arm's length.
The DPS could never actually come up with any evidence.
Exactly, that's what I mean, but still, you know how things bounce around the internet. But this is so peaceful, and the leadership is so, that's the other thing, this is the only one of these things that either of us have mentioned with a charismatic, well thought out leadership. The Wisconsin protest was very ad hoc. It was very connected to the members of Democratic members of the legislature. Occupy, obviously, nothing on purpose. This has Reverend Barber, who you can see marshaling each step of the process, week after week. Again, through a pretty good regimen, and he can keep it. I figured that he can keep that going for a while. He knows exactly what he's doing, and the police are starting to figure out what they're doing.
Well, thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you around covering all of this stuff in other states and in D.C.
Hopefully, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching. Moral Mondays will keep continuing, and so will the fight for voting rights, for economic justice, and for women's rights. And keep watching WeActRadio.com, following us on Twitter at WeActRadio, and then on Facebook and all the other online sources where you find media. Thank you.